Hey, what's up, guys? JP here, joined by Jeff Robinson, the guy I kicked off the show last night. So, first off, welcome back. And we just wanted
Yep.
to kind of talk about the situation a little bit before we jumped into the show so that the air was cleared. And I think ultimately, both me and Jeff just kind of want to move on. So, at the end of this, I hope that everyone kind of gets what they want out of it. And we'll just go from there and we'll have fun role playing. So, first and foremost, the situation that happened last night was handled probably the poorest of any situation I've been in. I have a tendency to, when something's nagging at me, I don't really confront the person. I'm very anti confronting people about stuff like that, and I kind of just let it stew. And ultimately, what happened was really just an explosion of emotion at the end of the show last night. And I'm very sorry to Jeff for that happening. And I think in the future, one of the things that we talked about between me and Jeff today was that won't happen anymore. It's one of my biggest, I think, hurdles that I've really kind of learned as I've done more and more shows over the course of my time on the internet is just being communicable, to make up a word. I think that's word, with one another, and that's what I'm going to kind of strive for moving forward. I also want to give an apology to the rest of the cast, to Ryan, to Jen, to Neal, and really anyone else on any of the other role play shows, because for some reason, by proxy, they were kind of all a part
Yeah.
of this. So that definitely was not the situation that I wanted. But yeah, once again, Jeff, I'm completely sorry for how I acted last night. It was incredibly unprofessional, and I mean, I've been doing shows with you for 3 years now.
Forever,
So
yeah.
the fact that for some reason I thought that it was time to end it is kind of fucking retarded. So that's what I've got to say. So the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, well, that's about as good of a segue as I could ask for because that's kind of a key word here. I just want to, like, first of all, I appreciate you saying all that, and just so that people know, this we're doing this publicly because, unfortunately, where I come in, my biggest grievance was that I made it public. I wrote a blog and I talked about this thing, and whether you believe my intentions or not, it's just not the right thing to do. Like JP said, we've been friends for a long time. We've been doing this stuff. We've actually argued a lot. Well, not a lot, I wouldn't say, but
This
this
has
is not the
happened
first
before,
time.
but it's been private.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is not the first time, and we've worked it out, and it's no mistake that in the past those things were much smoother and didn't become big issues because we did work it out behind the scenes and privately like it's supposed to be. So in my JP, I want to apologize to you because I think the worst thing I did of a number of things was that I blew this out of proportion too, and I made it public. And when that happens, people start to like pick sides and look for fault somewhere, and people come off wrong whether they're wrong or not. And it just we're already in the public eye enough. We don't need more of that. So I'm sorry that I brought that out. That's really immature. It's really bad, and it made it bigger than it needed to be. Um, it's something I've done in the past, and it's something that it's something I'm still learning about. Our roles and positions, and that's not an excuse. It's just me saying like I fucked up, and I'm looking to do better, and this is definitely something you can't do. You and I are friends, and when shit like this happens, even though we're in public positions, our friendship should come first, and we should solve that first, and that doesn't need to be public. Like public's when you're like fighting over a baby or some shit. Like we weren't about to.
We haven't gotten to
do
that stage yet.
no, it's not there yet. So that's my first apology. Obviously, for people that became a part of this because I made it public, it's important that you know too. And this was something that when I read all the comments, it from time to time got kind of lost. But JP didn't just randomly get mad about nothing. This is not made up in his head. My background is my entire life. You've probably heard me say this spiel a few times. I'm a pretty the word controlling or dominant comes into play. I call that's also like you'd call yourself a leader, but there's different ways to lead, and apparently the way that I do is like through just being the loudest, biggest presence in the room, and that really rubs some people the wrong way, understandably. But I say this because what ends up happening is sometimes as that personality, it really doesn't clash with other people, and if someone's kind of like a quieter, more meek person, it looks like I'm bullying the shit up, and I am. Like that's what ends up happening. I'm just trying to say that I'm really sorry for the way I treated Jen over season 1 and now. I was self-aware of it to the point where, like, after some episodes, I'd be like, you shouldn't tease her that much, or you stepped over a couple of boundaries. So I was aware that I was doing it too much, and it was obviously really bothering a few of the people on the cast. And I don't want to bother anyone. This is fun first and foremost. That's how this thing fucking started. Was JP was like, "Hey, this looks fun. Let's do this." And it'd be a real shame if it became like people were enduring harassment in the name of keeping a show going or something like that. And I don't want to be that guy. So I am not innocent in this at all. I shouldn't have done that. And I've spoke with Jen and I've spoke with JP, and I'm aware of it, and I'm certainly going to do what I can to improve on that and be a nicer guy so it's an overall more positive experience. I'm still pretty cynical, sarcastic, and stuff like that, so it's going to happen, so please try not to, like, oh, shit, don't jump all over it. I'm just going to try to do it less and spread it out more, and be aware of, if I do that, I should probably balance it out with some pretty kind things as well. Like, that's what good people are supposed to do, and I just kind of got away from that. So I apologize to Jen in the background, but just so you guys know, like, that air is cleared as well. I'm sorry to JP for putting him in the position where he felt like he needed to stand up for somebody else because, he thought that they might not want to stand up to a loud personality like myself. Like, that's an uncomfortable place to be as well. Moving forward, guys, like, the reason we're doing this, like, we apologize, and the reason we're doing this and sharing this with you is because we want to put this behind us. This happened last night. It's kind of funny, like, this is only 17 hours, but such serious shit happened. Like, I was off 2 shows, and JP's, like, not sleeping, and I'm shaking and, like, emotional. Like, we care a lot about this stuff. We really, really do. And after reading the comments from you guys, we know that you care a lot, too. So if you can help us and do the best job possible of putting this behind us, recognizing that we need to learn and improve from this, and then hopefully the show only gets better from here. Like, one of the funny things we laughed about too is that you really can't be one of my friends unless you've hated me for a significant chunk of that friendship. Like, that's just kind of how I am. So I feel like JP and I are actually closer after this, because now there's moments where he wanted to kill me or something like that, and it could be a good thing. And now he knows that my preference is, when I fuck up, I just need someone to tell me so that I can improve on it. And I know that when I'm doing this kind of humor and harassment stuff, people get uncomfortable, and I've always known that, but I need reminders all the time. So I feel like this could be for the better. I hope you guys can help us with that. And JP, thanks for being so awesome and having this bro hug and talking it out, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for doing the same as well. I think moving forward, Dark Heresy was scheduled for tomorrow. However, with it being canceled last night, the group is obviously incredibly busy, so that time slot filled right up. We're going to try to reschedule that for this week. It might not happen. But like always with that show, we're going to keep trying to schedule it as much as possible.
Once in the next 2 months, it should be.
We should have a show in the next 2 months. I think that's the safest bet we can make.
Yeah.
We can't make any other bets aside from that. And then Solom's going to continue. And I think kind of with Jeff, he hit the nail on the head. This show was born out of a bunch of friends that just wanted to have fun. And I think that's, after this nonsense has occurred, I think now with the air kind of clear, that's what we're going to go back to doing. So,
yeah.
Jeff, do you have anything else that you want to cover?
No, just, last 17 hours sucked, but I'm glad it's behind us, and thank you again for, guys, when he says he's a non-confrontationist too, this is also hard for him, so give an E clap for him, and thank you for giving me a second chance. I appreciate it.
All right, well, that's all we've got to say. We're about 3 minutes from air, so I'm going to get the rest of the group on the call, and we'll continue with week 1 of RollPlay Solum. Thank you, guys. The past 17 hours, like Jeff said, have been somewhat of a pain in the ass, and I'm glad that it's all behind us now. So, RollPlay Solum, week 1 coming up right after this. We'll see you guys then. What is up, guys? Welcome back to RollPlay D&D, which is now called RollPlay Solum, so I can't get sued. But it also works because we have kind of moved forward in time. We'll let Neal tell you guys about that in just a sec. But we've made all new characters. I think the world is somewhat still intact. Neal, you'll have to clarify that. The character sheets are out and about. I think the mods are linking them if you guys want to check that out. They should also be over on the subreddit. But Neal, how do you want to start this? You're the DM here, so.
We take place 70 years in the future after the events of RollPlay previous RollPlay Solum. The armies of Vorasi and Oris have not covered the world, but covered a lot of the world. Basically everything east of the Great River, which for our purposes is everything we need to know. We are far, far behind enemy lines. Many years ago, there was a prophecy of a child born that would bring about the end of Vorasi's reign. During this time, Vorasi's army moved through and killed every woman that was pregnant, or destroyed their baby, stabbed them in the gut, killed the babies. For a whole year, all the children that could be found were killed to prevent this child from being born. Unfortunately for Vorasi and Oris, they failed. A few children have lived, including the one that was prophesied to bring around the end of the Vorasi. The prophecy is known throughout the land, and kind of people are aware of it. And this campaign, at least the start of it, will take place where the player's objective is to rescue or take this child from far behind enemy lines to somewhere safe, so that the world has hope for the future. The world is in a terrible situation. Magic is basically outlawed. Anyone found practicing magic, priest or wizard magic, is taken back to Valesburg and boiled alive in vats of water or pitch or tar or whatever they happen to want at that moment, unless you're a child. Children who are found practicing magic are taken and indoctrinated into Vorasi's army. There are 4 great generals that rule 4 different sectors of the world. We'll be introduced to them as you go along. There's a preview document out there that's kind of like a teaser and some background information. It's called Oris and Vorasi. I've been posting it and tweeting about it and stuff. You can find it around. I'm sure someone will link it in chat right now. I recommend reading that. It will help kind of set the scene for things.
Can we also call this Snow White and the Ender's Game?
Snow White and the Ender's Game?
I was thinking
Ender's
the
Game.
Christmas Story. Can we go with that? Is it baby Jesus that's being born, Neal?
Whatever you want to say, you can say.
All right.
All right. We got that out of the way. We're good now.
We're good. We're good. Behind enemy lines, life is pretty brutal. In this particular area where we start, called Foghaven, the orcs are in charge of this area, or a band of orcs are in charge of this area. They come, they make sure people pay their taxes. If anyone gets out of line, they're usually just killed, no questions asked. They're not fair, they're not just. They don't do trials, they kind of do whatever they want. They take women when they want them, they burn towns when they want them. They're kind of left to their own devices here. It's not a happy life, it's not a good life at all. People are upset, no one's happy about the orcs, but the orcs keep people in line. So, let's introduce our 4 player characters. Let's start with the town blacksmith of Foghaven. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Yes. His name is Victorian Black, and people were already really excited that his name started with a V. It is at this time that we reveal the amazing spoiler that actually Neal named Vincent Longboard, not me. So, Neal and I love V names, you fucking virgins. The V. He's about 6'3", 230. He's kind of a big guy. He's younger. He's 23 years old. Quiet, keeps to himself. Very large, muscular man. He's the town smithy who specializes in weapons, but not a lot is known about him. He's kind of quiet. Like I said, doesn't have a wife, no family, no girls, just keeps to himself. And he does not say a lot. And he's kind of known because, he's known for his size. Back then, you didn't really see a whole lot of 6'3" people there. That's pretty gigantic for a human. And he is a human. As far as description goes, like I said, big muscular guy, but blonde hair, blue eyes. Hair is strangely Thor-like, which I do have a penchant for, so you can send those tweets as you like. He fancies... I guess that part will come out later.
He fancies something, though.
Jesus.
Been teased.
He fancies Jesus.
He fancies Jesus.
Well, I was going to say he has a... I'll just describe it now so we don't have to describe it too much when it happens, but he wears a mask in battle times, I suppose, which I guess he could have been seen training in it or some shit, I don't know. Or maybe it's just hanging up on his wall in the blacksmith, but it's like a half-skull black mask helmet thing that really only covers the top of his jaw and up, and it's just covers and protects the front of his face, but it's kind of scary looking. And then what's unique about him is that he specializes in spear and shield combat, much like I don't know, like
Leonidas?
Spartans or some shit. Yeah, and that's a little bit different. You don't see that a whole lot. And that's him. Wears a lot of black. He has good armor, by the way, because he has an armor. He's got, what is it called?
Splint mail
Splint mail.
He has 21 AC.
at level 1. 20 AC
Oh
from
my
the front.
God.
That's when his dex and his shield come into play. From behind, he only has his armor to defend him. Just as a,
Which is 16 AC.
right, but from the front, when you're actually battling a guy with a sword, shield, and spear who's specialized in it, they're pretty.
He
fucking
has
tough.
more from the back than I do from the front.
Also, what HP did you roll, Jeff?
He's got 21. Isn't it 21 health?
Yeah, we're starting at level 3.
Yeah, all the characters level.
He's got 21 health. I guess what would kind of define him is he's got I'm assuming later it'll be up on our overlay or whatever, but he's got 16 strength,
Yeah.
16 dexterity, 14 constitution, 13 intelligence, 10 willpower, 13 charisma, and 11 perception. And he specializes in spear, shield, and longsword. And that's the pertinent information for now. But also as like a introduction to the show, I'm having a technician come out for everybody, just so you know, tomorrow. But if I don't understand something, it's because it's like I'm in the 1950s and you guys are in the current time right now. Like Neal's like, there's orcs in town, and I'm like, yes, I think I barely understand what he's saying. So hopefully this will be done tomorrow. I apologize, but that's what I'm dealing with.
Cool. Well, you sound fine coming into us now, so
That's
hopefully
great.
that stays up.
That's most important.
Yeah, hopefully that stays up for the rest of the show.
All right, let's now introduce the shaman of the town, the only player in the party who has magic.
And that's me. And my name is Jackery. I'm going to keep some stuff to be discovered because I like it that way. I think it's more fun. I guess what is known to the people of the town is that Jackery is son of Malik, who was the town shaman previously. And then after his father's passing due to illness, Jackery took up his father's role within the tribe or the village or whatever. And something that is half known is that he started experimenting with potions on himself and herbs. And he started sharing with the village when he found like good unguents and how to cure people, basically. Also known is that he had an elvish girlfriend at some point. But the orcs heard rumors at some point that someone had magical powers within the tribe. So she got blamed for it because they found her in possession of potions and such. And then she was tried as whatever they try people as. And
Not even tried. Just
she was boiled. Yeah, she was boiled, I guess. And yeah, so I guess that's what I'll say for now. He's just the town shaman, takes care of people. His name is Jackery.
HP, AC, and stats?
People call him Jack within the town.
Okay, so it's Jack, not Jockry.
Jackery.
And just
Jesus.
Let's nip this in the
Original
butt.
name, Jackery. Try it.
Let's nip this in the butt just so we can so the audience knows.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
it's a guy.
we are trying to make this as confusing as possible. Jen is playing a guy. JP is playing a girl. My name starts with a V. Neal is still a prick that tries to kill the whole group.
It's all good because Ryan still is a person that uses a bow, so we're good.
we're getting there,
I don't
guys. Hold on. In due time.
Ryan's like, hi, my name is Horgor, and I have a
It's
front
actually
mullet,
Brayris.
or like it's kind of across my face a little bit.
Yeah.
I got this mullet. It's really fashionable after the past 70 years.
No. So we also would like to introduce the not actually a local resident of this town, but this roguish halfling who's been popping about, hanging out in Foghaven from time to time. Would you introduce yourself?
That is me. I will be playing Largo Silverheart. I am a halfling thief, and I'm actually bigger than most halflings, but I'm taller than most people. I'm 4'1", 78 pounds.
Nice.
So, if you can imagine that. He's kind of taller and fatter, hobbit, little halfling guy.
Okay.
I have brown hair, green eyes, and also my appearance, I'm very hairy, like most halflings are. My feet, my knuckles,
Do you
my
wear
chest.
shoes?
I haven't thought of that. I don't know.
Oh.
I might wear shoes. Probably not. I guess I wouldn't wear shoes.
I forgot to describe my appearance. Just finish up and I'll fill that up too.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm a thief. I specialized a lot in like pickpocketing and like little things that I can do around town, cheating people out of card games, being sneaky, stuff like that. My stats are actually kind of mediocre, I would say. My dex is pretty high, 17,
That's
and
good.
I also took a jumping proficiency, so I'm a hobbit with ups. Like I could probably, even though I'm like 4 feet, we're
Don't
just gonna
worry.
say like I could probably
I'll,
dunk.
I'll get you where you need to go, Largo. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, my main weapon is going to be a short sword, but I do have a backup bow, but it's not going to be my primary weapon. So, yeah,
There is something I forgot to tell you when we were talking about your character. Thieves get back attack, remember, as Abigail had. So
yeah.
if you stab someone behind, you get
now
double
be
damage on
the
first.
one always saying, "Can I get the back attack?"
Yeah. It's gonna be like, no, Ryan, can't. Okay, you're so annoying.
Okay. Jen, do you want to finish describing your character?
Yeah, he's like a pretty tall guy, 6 foot tall, average weight like 175 pounds, I guess. That's average. That's what Neil said. He's got brown hair, dark, kind of like a little bit long, but not too long. Kind of doesn't really care much look to it, but he's pretty. I don't know if he's attractive, but he's like a cool dude. People like him, and they tend to go visit him a lot in his hut. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Oh, and he uses a spear.
Can I finish
So
up
it's
one
processing.
Yeah, finish up.
Okay. As is customary on most of my characters, I'm gonna have 50 feet of rope. And one more thing to note is that hobbits, or sorry, I keep calling them hobbits, halflings.
Yeah, please don't get this claimed.
When
man.
you
Just
roll their
go with
stats, you
halfling.
get +1 to dex and -1 to strength. So my character actually has a fascination with people who have a lot of strength because that's his lowest stat. It's actually an 11. And so really strong people are fascinating to him.
Lowest stat is 11. Oh my god.
This is like an OK Cupid account at this point in time. What do you
11, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's a good
Does he have
life
a
you've
foot
got there,
preference, or is he more of an
Largo.
ass man? How's that go? Is that
Probably like a quad.
Yeah.
Quad, glute.
All right. And last
All right.
but not least, we have our snoo loving giant of a woman
Yeah.
who grew up in this town as well. Just kind of, what's your occupation in this town? Did we ever decide?
I don't think I have an occupation. I just think that I kind of just live around town. Like I live in the house that my father, that I grew up in because he's no longer around. So I just kind of hang around.
So, I mean, but you have to make a living somehow, right?
play video games?
Yeah, I just play video games. That's all I do. Let's just say that like around town I do,
You're a handyman, handy woman.
yeah, something like that. I do the
Don't
odd
be
jobs if you
sexist,
get what
Neil.
I'm saying.
Handy person.
It's a handy person.
He's a handy person.
So to describe Alice, I think Snoo does a pretty good job. She's 6'1", 180 pounds. Not really a drip of fat or any fat on her body. She has 18/97 strength, which the highest strength that you can have in the game is 18/100. So I'm like second to that. Her other stats are pretty abysmal after Dex and Con. 15 Dex, 17 Con, 7 Int, 6 Willpower, 5 Charisma, and 8 Perception. So
I'm sorry,
she
did
is
you
not
say 7
only,
intelligence?
yes, she is not only stupid, she's also extremely ugly.
What's her charisma?
5 Charisma.
Holy
And-
shit, you're like the opposite of my character.
I'm like a
That
2
way,
out of 10.
Aw,
wanna
man,
have
I
to-
can't.
he didn't
I
wanna
can't
have to roll
skip
To be
Look
on
fair,
up
to be
the
fair,
class.
charisma does not do attractiveness. Charisma
Roll
does,
for
you know,
hotness.
charisma is more of like the
Oh,
way that
well,
how influential you are with people. You know, when you say something, whether or not people perk up and listen to you.
yeah.
You
Well, I
know?
mean, to be honest, she is incredibly like muscled, so I wouldn't think she would look ugly by any means.
If you're
She
that
just-
kind of thing. I mean,
She has black hair. It's unkept. It's long. She's got kind of scars all over her body. Blue eyes. She's 20 years old. She's right-handed. She is a two-weapon fighting style fighter. She uses a bastard sword in her right hand and a kopesh in her left hand. She can also
sorry,
use
did you say coat hanger? What did you say?
kopesh. It actually is kind of a coat hanger in terms of style. It's like a curved sword that has a hook on it. I think it's Middle Eastern. Is that right, Neil?
It's like what Khal Drogo used in.
Yeah, I think so.
In-
Maybe not as
Oh,
much
that's
as an
cool.
arc.
looks just
No, that's an onk. That's curved. That's very different.
It's like a
Kopesh is
slight curve in mine. In the you just Google Kopesh. You'll
Yo,
find
we
it.
gonna nerd out about
Man.
this shit?
It's definitely
nerd
what Khal Drogo used.
There you go. She also has 50 darts that she is really well versed in throwing. What else? She has 32 HP, which is actually a pretty good roll considering she could have 39 max. 15 AC. I think that's it. 20 years old, I said that. And story-wise, everyone in the town knows me as the daughter of the bastard son of Lord Valazus. Hopefully I said that right.
Valazus.
Valazus, which, if you guys remember correctly, is the person that killed the party at the end of week 39. I was born in this town. My mom died in childbirth because of muscles. That's what I wrote down. You can obviously use your own imagination there. And my father trained me while he was around, but he died in the army, and because of that, I hate the army, and I won't have any part of it. And that's it for Alice.
That is it for the party.
I have another thing to add. Do I really have just 16 HP, Neil? I thought I rolled better than that.
I got 12.
I thought I had like 20 something.
Oh, God, what?
Sorry.
Jen!
20.
All right, I'm scrolling back up. I'm looking back up in the records of what we rolled earlier.
I think I rolled 20 something too. Now that I think about it.
No. No.
Really? I just have 16?
I'm looking 16. Yeah, you rolled a 6, a 2, and an 8 on your 3d8
Okay,
HP,
cool.
which is still above average for your
Oh,
HP.
okay. Okay, cool.
And,
And-
Horace, you still rolled...
Whoa, Horace.
Well, not Horace. Your name was Horace at the time.
How did Brienne get 31 then?
Yeah.
Fucking 17 con gives her
Ah.
a +3 to each HP roll. So
32, Jeff, not 31.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. And last thing is
Well, you're
that...
keeping it on sheets. Isn't it 34?
I think so.
All right, let's do a quick health check. I'm at 58. What are you guys at?
Just so you guys know also, the town is like pretty tight with my character, so they keep it a secret that he has magical powers and heals everyone, so...
yeah, as the person who can actually heal the town, and they all
Yeah.
hate Rossi, they
Yeah.
keep your secret, but at the same time, anyone that sold you out to the orcs would probably get a handsome reward.
Yeah.
So even people who you think are your friends and evil people who are oppressed by the enemy will sometimes turn on you just because life is so hard they will do anything to get ahead.
I'm sorry, you said orcs?
Orcs rule this area. They
Okay.
are...
Are they a part of the army?
Yes. Well, I mean, yeah, more or less. The army... So the war has kind of come to almost a standstill. It's not... They're no longer conquering vast swaths of land.
Mhm.
It's, So they're employed by Verasi. Employed is a generous word. They're with them. These things are kind of vague. It's like, oh yeah, we'll just give this area to the orcs, and they'll listen to us no matter what we say. And as long as they, give us the tax money, the gold, we're fine. So
Neil, describe for me Verasi.
Verasi is a goddess, so she does not have a physical form in this world.
Is she represented in a single eye, perhaps over a tower?
No.
Is it a vagina? A single vagina over a tower?
A single
You can use the
vagina.
same image.
It
It's
speaks
about the
from the
same thing.
vagina.
3 tits is the representation of
Oh
Verasi.
god, it's the the Rancor
Total
Keeper
Recall.
Yeah.
No,
well,
well, you could do
Total
that.
Recall.
The Rancor Keeper's better though. That was like 6
Rancor
hits. Never mind.
Or
Sorry.
Paul. 3 tits just is around.
Jack digs that.
No, that's not. No.
Okay.
Rossi goes by a V.
I am super excited for the inevitable Jack and Alice sex scene where everyone is as confused as they are.
I should note that this is 70 years after the events of roleplay. Oris is the head of the army, or the head of the Verassi's group, but he is old now. He was in his 20s or 30s during roleplay D&D or roleplay Solum the first time around. So now he's 90s or 100 something. He is old, and
I thought you said horse, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he died.
If he's that old, can you describe his mech suit that he uses in battle, then, please?
No, you've never seen him. In fact, most people know very little about him other than, Oris rules. And it's never Uncle Oris anymore. It's simply Oris or Lord Oris.
Okay.
Oris rules.
Yeah, I thought you said
Oris rule.
So what happened to Abigail then? We might as well get that out of the way at the start.
We didn't discuss it. We'll figure it out and we'll let you guys know.
Okay.
She took an invisibility potion that lasted 600 years.
So we won't be going to the lands of Abigalia where it's all actually
Rumor has it she's still
Armin.
hiding to this day.
wanted. 200-year-old elf.
She
Has
runs a
affinity
ferret
for
farm in
ferrets.
Abigalia. So,
Okay, so we start the scene in. It's nighttime. Everyone in the town knows that Carla is giving birth to a child. No one knows, who the child will be because the child hasn't been born yet. But the town has done a very good job of keeping her pregnancy secret. When the orcs come, they hide her away, move her from house to house, keep her unknown. But tonight, she is being born. Pregnancy is going. Father's dead. He got snatched by orcs ages ago. And by ages, I mean like 3 months ago.
okay.
So Carla's in labor, giving birth to this child. Many people in the town are kind of trying to keep a low profile, but the 4 of you are gathered at the inn in the tavern. Ryan, you've been kind of using this town as a base for, you will go out and steal shit and then keep a low profile here for a while. So you have kind of gotten to know these people a little bit, This is your place to stay safe. So you don't cheat these people, you don't lie to these people usually. I mean, and you kind of come up with somewhat of a rapport with them.
Sure.
So the party is sitting in the tavern called the Quail's Feathers in the town of Foghaven.
We all know each other?
I mean, 3 of you live in the town, and the town is small. The town's like 200 people, 300 people. So you guys know of each other. There's other people here sitting about. But
So
you
I
guys are all...
probably healed them already and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, like everyone in a small... You guys know small towns. Small towns...
We know she's a
everyone
shaman.
knows each other. Yeah, you guys
We
kind of
know
know...
Jack's
You must not know
secret.
she's a shaman, actually. You may have been kept in the dark about that. But everyone else in the town knows that she is a shaman. And everyone recognizes Alice because how do you fucking miss Alice, right?
Right.
And the blacksmith, while he may keep to himself from time to time, is still the only blacksmith/weaponsmith in town.
Right.
So even if he keeps to himself, people are aware of who he is.
Okay.
All right. Neil, I stand up. I have finished my drink, and I walk over to Alice, and I say, Alice, just wanted to give you a heads up. That harness with the triangular black thing on the front of it that you had asked for me to make, it's almost done. The belt thing. I believe you called it a strap-on. It'll be done.
It's almost complete.
Alice stands up and looks at Jeff and I gotta remember your name now. Victorian. Looks at Victorian and grabs you kind of by your collar and picks you up. And he goes and says, Mr. Black, why you gotta be a dick all the time?
I'm there too, right? So I'm gonna intervene and I'm gonna be, whoa, guys, let's chill. Calm down here. We're all friends. We're a part of the city. It's cool.
I'm gonna walk over and
Oh
like
my
as
god,
she's
is that
lifting
really
him
your
up.
character? Are you being a racist Rastafarian guy? Are you actually being? Is that a French Canadian's impression of a Rastafarian guy?
Just let it happen, Jeff. Just let it happen.
I'm gonna go over
Hey, I'm
and
cool with it.
while she's lifting up Victorian, I'm gonna be like, "Excuse me, miss, but you have some massive biceps.
I'm gonna
I
look
mean,
down. I'm gonna look down.
Those are
and,
incredible."
I'm gonna look down and grab Largo and pick him up to eye level, and he goes and look at him right in the eye and say, "What'd you say, short stuff?"
Your
Stop lifting
biceps are amazing.
God.
Stop lifting up people. What's wrong with you, woman?
I'll like let Victoria down and be like, "Why is everyone ganging up on me again? This shit always happens."
The innkeeper, Joseph, yells over to you guys, "Hey, keep it down, guys.
They started it, Joseph.
You know what? I don't care if they started it. You're going to end it. Put him down. He's a guest."
I just instead of like lightly dropping him, I just like let go, however far up in the area is.
All right.
Well,
you
I'm
dropped
6'3", so I imagine it wasn't.
Not too far. Yeah, your feet were barely off the ground then.
Yeah, I mean, he already set you down to pick up the.
Alice, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Well, don't be
Let me
a
buy
dick,
you.
Victorian God.
Let me buy your next round. What are you having?
I don't drink, but I'll take some water.
At this point,
JP, can we just get this out of the way? You are a hero for sitting there and thinking to yourself, I could do this voice for. I mean,
Oh, I'm doing it forever. I did Bubba's voice for 5 weeks straight, and I'm doing this one for however long this is gonna go.
I guess the kind of good news is that your characters tend to live about 5 weeks. anyways,
Exactly.
so it should be-
Yeah, that's a problem with me. I can't really do a guy voice forever. I'm gonna hurt myself.
Let me get you. Let me
I
get you
can try.
a trough of water or something, please. I'll be right back.
at this point, the front door opens, and a woman that has some blood on her, like chest and belly, walks into the bartender, and they speak in hushed whispers for a few moments. And he nods to her. She runs out, and this is as Victorian is walking over to the bar. And he says, "Hey, I think it's about time for Carla. Can you grab some cloth? Here, let me get you some cloths and some boiling water, and can you take it over there? I think they need some more."
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll go help them out. I'll go help them out.
What? You said Victorian, right?
Oh, just Victorian?
He's
Is
a
that for
Victorian.
everyone?
He was talking to
Oh,
Victorian.
okay.
Victorian had just walked over to the bar. to
Yeah,
get
you
her-
confused me the fuck out, Jen. I was like, I'm pretty sure your name's Jockry or some shit.
She also
Well,
too somehow
then-
chose Victorian.
Oh, that's the next campaign, man. That's the final level of confusing. Like, just have 3 people named Bob.
It's Bob, Boob, and Beeb. Those are the names. And
Okay, then I'll
Thomas.
say, hey, do you guys need additional help?
I'm sorry. Is there a? Do
There's
you
a
see
little
that?
paperclip over in the right-hand corner.
Is that Bob? Do you see that Bob Marley looking guy over there?
Hey, bud.
Bartender-
you need-
the bartender
need
says,
some
"Yeah,
help?"
actually, if you know anything about it, I think they could use your help."
Yeah, sure. I'll go help them out.
Okay.
Still not in the conversation yet, Jockry. Let's.
Oh, really? But I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
asked if they
that's
needed
okay.
help.
Yeah, Jockry said, "Did he need help?" And he turned to Jockry and said,
God.
Yeah, I'm coming along, man.
"Okay." So, Victorian and Jockry head off to Carla's house to go deal with the child birthing process and help out where they can. It is now just Largo and Alice. Oh my god, these names are hard to remember. Hanging out at the bar. Is there anything else you guys want to do? Any more interactions you want to have?
I'm
I
gonna
guess
tell.
oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell Alice. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna sneak off and follow them because I'm very curious about this child. But I'm gonna try and be, follow at a safe
The
distance.
first you've heard of a child in this town. The town does a pretty good job of keeping the shit quiet, and you would know that the army of Verasi has been hunting down women who are pregnant and killing them because of the prophecy.
So I just think it's just a normal kid, like.
Well, I mean, yeah, could possibly be normal kid, but at the same time,
Normal.
these things are hidden. These things are pretty fucking secret.
Yeah.
To know that a child is being born here right now is like, holy shit, they kept a child's secret for 9 months. It's really
I'll
intriguing.
stay at the bar then. I'll stay at the bar and buy Alice a drink, some water or whatever she drinks.
I already have water. What? I don't need more water, you dumb fuck.
You could double fist it.
I don't want any double fisting anywhere near me, Largo.
One for each hand.
I'm just staring at you, like staring down at you as you're saying this. I'm not making
So-
any noises.
How did you get to be so big?
I was born. What? I don't know.
Wow.
This is just the way. How'd you get to be so small? It's the same fucking question.
Well,
Oh, 7 intel. 7 intel.
What?
I'm just reminding
Dumber.
you of your 7 intel is all.
That's pretty dumb. I mean, that's a pretty. I can see
Yeah,
that
no,
he's
yeah,
small.
it's legit. It's legit. Just,
Yeah.
I'm actually quite big for my race. I don't know if
Wait,
you've
you're
seen
not a
it.
human? I thought you were a midget.
That's not.
No, I am a halfling.
There we go.
I'm a
what?
tall halfling.
What the
And a
hell's a
little bit-
halfling?
Kind of like a human, but smaller and hairier.
Well, you are pretty hairy.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's flip back over to Carla's house.